Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I want to discuss a little bit as to why I feel like Anji is struggling really badly in the current state of Guilty Gear Strive, and go over why it might feel disadvantageous for players new or old to pick this character over other characters such as like Ramlethal, Leo, or Happy Chaos. To clarify, I don't think Anji is a terribly designed fighting game character by any means, but just that he lacks a lot of tools that other characters have in this game that keep him relevant in the current meta at top levels of play. I really enjoy playing the character, but wanted to have a discussion about his weaknesses and how I hope things change for him going forward. I do plan on making a separate video as to what I'm hoping for with the winter update patch, but that will be for another time. For now, let's just get straight into the discussion. So, I think before we get into this character's flaws, we need to talk about this character's strengths, and I think one of Anji's greatest strengths in the game is definitely the spin, and how he can control neutral better and different than most characters can in this game. So if we set everyone's favorite Kisk to be doing this move, I'm sure you guys have encountered this before. They really like to throw this move out in neutral because it's very safe, it's very hard to get in. And even when you do get in, he can just kind of poke as fast as he wants with it, right? And even jumping in on it is kind of hard because you can just overshoot it and get close slash pretty easily. But in Anji's case, it's kind of different. So if I can time it right, yep, we actually get a full punish off that, which I feel like most characters would not be able to do unless they had either a low profiling move or something to engage, like kind of like Faust, how you can teleport from behind people and engage with a command grab or something like that. I feel like in situations like this, where people are trying to keep Anji out, it's a lot easier for him to get in on other people than the rest of the cast kind of can. So another trick to spin that I don't see a lot of people, if anybody, ever talking about is how it actually messes with the in-game frame data. So we have Kai set here to just do this, right? 2 stun edges and then into the big stun edge. So it's always consistent. He's just going to do this. But there's something I've noticed when training with the bots in the training rooms. And it's this. So if we set him to keep doing stun edge, you can see it keeps coming out 3 at a time. But if you parry the first one, it actually messes with in-game frame data, and it causes him to just do a far slash instead, because it doesn't read his input anymore. And this can happen in real situations, like in-game. Like, this is how you kind of catch people flustered against Anji, is because usually you're screwing up the frame data a little bit in-game somehow, causing them to miss input. I don't really know what that is, why the game can't read inputs while you're in the midst of spin, but it definitely makes for situations like this where, you know, like, they were not expecting any of that to happen, so you can catch a lot of people off guard with situations like that. So, switching over to Ram, I'm sure everybody's encountered this situation before. This situation is so obnoxious when you're pretty much any other character because it's so hard to get in. But with Anji, it's a little bit easier. Like, these are certain things that I feel like only Anji could take advantage of in this current state of the game. His spin might not be the best, and we can definitely analyze the previous trailers, like his launch trailer, and see that the spin used to be a lot faster and more consistent. But definitely having situations like these be open up to you is a lot better than not having them at all. Like, I don't even... After playing the other half of the roster, I don't even really know how to play neutral as well because I'm so reliant on just spinning around like a madman now. That's not to say the spin isn't without its flaws. We'll get into that very soon, but it does have some problems. But I think as a neutral tool, this is really good, especially against people who try to mash projectiles. Trying to spin through it is very reliable until it's not, and we'll go into that in a little bit. Another thing I feel like we need to acknowledge as Anji is he has some big boy damage for kind of the good reasons, I suppose. But like, you can just tell that was one combo that took almost 70% from that opponent's life bar. The reason might not be obvious as to why this is happening at first, but this is solely because I'm getting a combo reset, which is very specific to Anji, like, playstyle, I guess you could say. His playstyle revolves a lot around making those reset situations happen. Because the risk to doing that is something like this. You can get grabbed and potentially thrown, and then now you're put in an unsafe situation where you have to block and predict what they're going to do. But if you know how to space it properly, then you can get quite the good results off of a reset. Let me see. And that's just like a fodder combo, right? Like, that's not even a good combo to really go off of. But I feel like Anji is definitely one of those characters that benefits a lot more from resetting and counter hit pokes than most of the characters in this game. And just look at that damage. Like that's a super high amount for no reason, honestly. And it's all just because in the midst of his combos, he has a lot of reset pressure options that are kind of good to go for if you already have the hit. But usually most people just kind of go for the low sweep because it's an easy to confirm and you can kind of try getting some follow-ups off of it. But if you're feeling risky and you know that you have the spacing, you go for these counter hit options and they do a lot of damage if you're able to convert off of them. Absolutely. So I got pot pulled up here. And this is like a super realistic situation. This is off of no counter hits, by the way. Just watch. Right? Oh, he didn't know I was going to go for the overhead. That's more than 50% health damage on Potemkin. Like, Anji, in the right situations, will make Potemkin feel like Chip. And that is hilarious to me. You're not going to get these situations often. You know, you're more than likely going to start with something like this. But even that, if just risking it for the Rin, you will get very good results. Now, let's not even talk about if you're like half screen. You can do some pretty nasty things with blue RC. Like, that's a full screen carry option with given 2 meters, but at the same time, it basically almost kills your opponent. And if you're playing against Chip, oh, you're definitely going to kill him in like 1 or 2 hits that game. So I definitely think Anji is a very high damaging character and benefits a lot more than some of the roster does with his counter pokes. Another good strength for Anji, and this was kind of nerfed during Season 2, is his Oki pressure. So everybody already knows they took away Ko, but that's not what I'm really here to talk about right now. I want to talk about his throw game pressure, because I think his throw game pressure is absurdly nasty. Like, I think he has probably some of the best throw situations in the game, if not just the best throw situation. So, for instance, you get a toss, you're more than likely going to throw this butterfly. And once you have that butterfly in play, your options to screw over the opponent go crazy. So I have him just set to block. I don't have him set to DP or anything, just so I could show some standard examples of what like combo structure would look like. So this is usually what I go for. I do a quick toss, fan, then they usually go crouch, and I go for an overhead. And if the overhead misses or they don't DP it, that is still plus, and I'm allowed to continue my pressure after that. But there are some other routes you can go for. I've seen a lot of people go for this, bubble jabs. I've seen a lot of people go for this. Just confirming like extra pressure, because you know if you land these fans, it is plus for you. You can also kind of just do this if you want the fan pressure, but it's always better to go for like this. You can go for low into that, into overhead. There's a lot of options. You can even do this, which I have caught a lot of people with, by the way. But that's a good method right there. Also, you can kind of just like push them out of the bird. Butterfly pressure. But yeah, I think Anji's like Oki off of throw is ridiculous in this game. It used to be better for sure, especially with the EX butterfly that you used to have in plus R that would go all the way across screen at like light speed. And I don't think his butterfly is the greatest neutral game, so it doesn't even make it full screen. But I think his grab pressure after like landing butterfly is great. And this situation is very likely due to the fact that his close slash is now +1, I think, on block. It used to be minus. Most of the roster used to have minus close slash buttons. Ever since they turned this into a +1 move, you get this situation a lot more consistently. And it also flips out a couple of other options, like this. So we just set Kai to do Vapor Thrust after block. This used to be like such an unfun situation. I felt like disadvantageous when I was here, right? Because I felt like this was the only route I could do without putting myself in absolute danger. But now we have this. And you can just continue the pressure from there. Until they DP, but you know my point. But yeah, definitely advantageous to have this in his arsenal now. Something to kind of snuff out good DPs. and go back to like my own pressure, right? Because now at least it's my turn after that. Now, as far as positives go, that's pretty much all I have to say about the character. I feel like his positives are great. I think his strengths are awesome. That's why I definitely like to play the character. I really love going for Butterfly Oki. I do like going for these like fast overheads or instant lows. I didn't really talk about much on these because I feel like these are pretty standard by this point. I mean, these are his basic hits, so I don't think these are advantageous situations anymore. I think these are just him. And even then, like, going for this is definitely not something you want to really do consistently. But, yeah, time to start talking about his flaws, and oh boy, are there some big ones. So, I want to talk about this problem first, because this problem is the main reason I even decided to make this video. For some reason, you just do not have to respect Anji at all in this game. It's crazy how much you really don't. So, like, let's give you an example. Let's just turn off blocking for Kai real quick. There we go. And let's just set him to backdash, right? So, here's a situation you would find yourself in. Nope. Or how about this? Let's try tossing him in the corner and try to go for it. Nope, did not happen. Cool. What about here? Okay, we messed up the butterfly. What if we, okay, nope, that's not gonna work. So what about this? Let's go. Nope. Okay, cool. That didn't work. So I think the point I'm trying to get is very clear here. For some reason, you do not have to respect shit about this character. You can backdash his dreams out of the way, and it really hurts because I don't think this is a distance problem because you guys can obviously see here in the corner. You're getting up. Oh, whoops. Yep, there we go. See, like, nothing happens. That was a little bit too early. Nothing. 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 It's ridiculous how either this move just doesn't have like a long enough hitbox or something. Not long enough hitbox. What is it called? It's not active long enough. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not active long enough, and it's very, very unrewarding. Because a lot of situations you end up with as Anji are like this, right? Alright, gotta continue pressure. Nope. And that's like his only way to really continue pressure, because you can't reach him after a, like, with a bar slash with this. It's not gonna work. And I just don't know what they exactly want you to do to keep up pressure, because it looks like as soon as you're done with no meter doing this string, you're back at neutral again. I guess that's maybe what the developers intended, so you can start playing with spin again, but like this isn't something you really want to be doing all the time in neutral. Like, it's cool to have it as an option to get in, but is that the only method of getting in that I want? No, absolutely not. And I can't really go for things like this because you just kind of get tossed, or you can't really go for, like, you know, we went over earlier Rin stuff. Rin would normally keep people really close to you if you hit them, right? So you could actually go for, like, close slash. But the problem with this is Rin can also be grabbed, so you're putting yourself in an even more disadvantageous situation while you're comboing a character just so you can keep up pressure with them after you knock them down. I feel like there's a lot of solutions you can go about this. Maybe have them not instantly recover the second they hit the floor, or maybe have Anji have faster recovery after Nagiha so I can run in a little bit to keep my pressure up. But there are just situations where doing this leads to my doom. Because it's not just with him. Like, Potemkin can backdash it, Nago can backdash it. Everybody can backdash that, and it's not really a situation that's hard to find. A lot of his moves are very backdashable, and it can cause a lot of situations for him that just feel like how didn't I hit? How didn't that hit, right? Like, nope. That's why you see me kind of like mash for the heavy slash. But there's just a lot of situations where a lot of his moves just will not be working. Especially after throw or like this. Like, it's a hard knock life. And I feel like it's definitely more with him than any other character. Because I don't ever, I try to backdash other characters and it's not as impressive when I do it against other people. Especially, well, it's kind of bashing my mic. Especially since other people have a lot better pressure to keep up with than Anji, because a lot of Anji's pressure just pushes him really far away from the opponent for some reason. Like, they do not want you near there. I think another major flaw is Fujin. I don't know why they wanted Fujin to be this tool where, like, they thought people were gonna love using it, but it really isn't. Especially since you can just kind of do that to him and just kind of completely delete his options. Like, tell me, if while I'm getting hit, the only thing I have to fear is holding back down because he can go for this, right? That's not scary. Because it's really easy to react to him going for an overhead and just grabbing because you're already getting mashed, right? You're already getting hit. So why wouldn't you just be mashing back throw or throw in general? Because if I go for an overhead, I'm screwed. On top of that, if I go for this, I'm also screwed. I don't get the point of that. Why? It doesn't even look like... Let me see. Side menu. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It almost looks like he's grabbing me out of the air, to be honest with you. It's ridiculous. Like, there is no situation, even me, when I fight other Anjis, when I'm in the corner and I'm getting, like, slapped silly, like they're already in the midst of a combo, when I see an Anji do this, I'm mashing grab. When you see them do the little hoppity skip, you mash grab. You get them the fuck out of there, and you just toss them to the side. Usually people who can't react to this are just not good at the game. I'm going to be straight up. You have to be able to react to that. It's not that hard. It's a pretty big tell when you see him flying through the air in a motion that he doesn't normally have. So you should be able to just pick throw him however you like. And that's a big problem with Anji, is there is no reason to respect any of his pressure. So, like, let's set the opponent to block, right? Let's just set them to, like, throw after block. Okay. Here are our situations. And we did good there. So what if we went for overhead? Nah, we'd get screwed. Okay, so what if we went for this? Oh, that's actually different. I wonder, can I whip this? Oh, you can. Wow, okay, that's cool. So there are certain situations where it works, but it's very high and low. Then there's this situation. Yup. Where for some reason this, and it's not just this, it's also this. Do not... Like, they really wanted to tell us during Season 2 that we're gonna make Anji's Fujin a more combo-compatible move. And by doing so, we think the best result is to have him get blocked after every situation of using it. There's nowhere to go after this string, by the way. This is the string. Should I go to butterfly? Sure. That's not gonna beat him if he's, like, doing anything other than mashing throw. Can I go into this? Nope, I can't, because I tried to go into fan toss and it didn't even work. Like, Anji's moves just do not really, like, compensate here. Well, am I going to go for Ko? Nah, not really, because I'll just get screwed if they... Even if they whiff the grab, they could probably still hit me before I can hit them. So it's just, there's no reason for this to be a gapless thing where they can grab me in. There's, like, actually no reason. It's disgusting, and it's, like... It's not just that, like, if I even try to mix it up and go for even the tiniest low, I'm punished directly for that. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a problem with the game, if Arxis maybe just overlooked that. But there is no reason why his pressure should be that abysmal. Because it makes his corner pressure just look pathetic. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do here? Just this? Cool. That was really hard for him to block. Absolutely ridiculous for him to block. He had no situations there. You're kind of supposed to, like, that's why I feel like they gave him the close slash, but even then, like, if you rush close slash them, they're gonna get the grab first, so it's so counterintuitive. And then if we just set him to do the real option, the DP, ooh, man, the game gets a lot worse there. Yup, can't even delay Nagiha without getting completely blown over. You would have to go for full Nagiha, and even then, you are still in a situation where you're left either blocking or just completely disadvantageous. Same goes for this. DP'd. Why I never go for the low options as Anji in my online matches, because who is going to respect this? Nobody. I don't even respect it, so I don't use it. And there's just a lot of situations. I mean, why ever go for, like, something like fan toss if it's just going to fucking destroy you every single time? It doesn't count as a projectile on the way down, so, I mean, they're just not going to get counter hit by it anyways. There's just a lot of situations where that's just not good. And then we come to the other matter, which is Anji's pressure, which in itself is okay. right? Because we do have some nice tools. We have the overhead, which is super negative on block, which completely gets us screwed over, but I mean, we have it. And we have the low, which catches a lot more people than you would expect. It's nice to have the jump in as an option, but this move right here, they need to fix it. It's not that the move is unbearably bad, because when they block it, oh, they have to block it. But, you know, like, getting them in a situation where they have to block it is inexistent. Like, it doesn't work. It's really hard, and unless you kind of already had it planned out in your head how you were going to get it down, it's not going to work. You can't even really, like, RC into it. You'll get caught right away. So it's a really difficult move to work with. It's definitely a struggle. Definitely a struggle to land the fan toss if they have DPs or any confident air moves whatsoever, or even like forward P's. I've gotten forward P'd out of the air so many times by Gold Lewis because it just reaches up into the sky and grabs me by the cankle and slams me down to earth. So there are just like a lot of situations where his air-to-air options are not going to be the best in those situations, right? And probably the last thing I want to talk about with Anji is his convertibility. So we all know about like how Ram, actually, you know what, let me just switch to Ram right now for like good reference sake. We all know the Ram shtick. She can pretty much do anything she wants in this game and just wall break off 50%. That's something that's definitely lost on Anji. Because with no meter, we're going to show you meterless conversions. And I'm going to try showing as many counter hit situations as I can. So here is what the typical combo route looks like. This is it. You impressed yet? Then I have to chase them with, let's see if we just set them to backdash after recovery. Hit. Recovery. Backdash. Oops. That's typically how the neutral game for Anji goes without meter. Now, there are certain situations, such as like this. Oh, whoops. Where, like, obviously you catch them in the air. And his air game is nasty, so you'll get a little bit of damage. I'm not even doing, like good conversions. Let me try doing something. Whoops. So, like, you can see there, his anti-air conversions are real. They absolutely are. And they are something to be scared. Like, he has air-to-air conversions that I think rival the rest of the cast. That's why it's hard to jump against Anji. But I think when it comes to ground controllability, I mean, the fuck does he have? He literally has nothing. Without meter, I mean, you can land Rin for, like, good pressure and a little bit of good damage. But that's not comboing or breaking off the wall like Ram can kind of just do off of, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know, let's do. I don't know Ram things, man. But the point, you get my point. Like, the point I'm trying to make is conversion with her is like done. I didn't have to do anything other than hit 3 buttons. With Anji, it's a little bit more situational, especially with the whole air-to-air thing. I've seen a lot of people say this is godlike. This is not godlike. If you think this is a godlike combo, I want you to stop playing the game, okay? Because I need you to understand, you're never landing this. So the only situations you're going to land this, maybe, is if you do a wall break on. So let's do this. Right. Gonna crack the wall. Now I'm gonna rush her. She backdashed. She backdashed, and I couldn't get that. It's not that I think this is a bad thing. It's that this is a very niche thing, because you can't get this from over here. Even if you land Ko at a distance, you can't get the rest of it. You have to be point blank in their face to get this combo. And I love this combo, I just can't get this combo in game. Because the reality of the situation is, they're gonna backdash, 1, they're gonna block, 2, they're gonna raw super, 3, or they're gonna DP, 4. You do not have enough time. Let's see if we can set Ram to just do her raw super. Let's see. So after recovery, it's better to do whatever, where is that? I don't know what it's called. More bottle, right? It's Morbato, right? Let's let her do Morbato. Alright, here I go. Got fucked immediately out of that situation. They were like, nope, I see you rushing me. No, 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 I'm not good. And this is obviously if they have meter. If you're washing them, you can go up and do whatever you want, but not even. So let's set them to let's set them to do this, right? You want to set them to do grab? Let's set them to do throw. Get ourselves the same situation again. And let's see what happens when I rush. Because it's the same problem, man. It's the same problem always with Anji. There is no reason to respect him. That is the major issue I have with him, is that there is literally no reason to fear anything Anji does. He's not going to scare you. His options are very limited, and it's very scary to... It's scary to get hit by him, but you're not going to get hit by him, more than likely, if you just know how to block even a little bit confidently. And it sucks, because I love Anji, and I think he's a great character. It's just a lot of these flaws hold him back so much compared to the rest of the roster, like Leo or Ram or Happy Chaos, who could just do whatever they want and have a great time. I'm going to continue playing Anji, but these are definitely problems that terrorize him to this day, and will probably continue terrorizing him until the winter update. So why am I making this video? Because at the end of the day, I truly believe it doesn't matter how bad the character might be. As long as you're having fun and like the character, you should play them and keep enjoying the game. Because I tried playing Ram, didn't have a fun time. I've tried playing Nago, had a slightly funner time, but not that much fun because every game ended in like 30 seconds or less. So I definitely plan on playing Anji. I just hope this video doesn't fall on deaf ears and people can actually see the problems that he has, my bad, and can hopefully work on them together as a community and try to find out some crazy tech for him, or maybe just work on different pressure routes for him, because he definitely needs a lot of love from the community to make him a viable pick in the competitive scene. I did recently win a tournament with Anji, and I did recently also place in 5th place at another local tournament of mine. But I feel like at the top levels of play, the amount of Anjis you're gonna find are gonna be scarce to few. Definitely little to none. Another thing I didn't really touch on in this video is how Anji can handle resources kind of better than anyone. But I feel like that's not stuff to talk about, because at the end of the day, everybody in this game has good meter resource management, right? Like, I've seen Ram do some nuts stuff to me before. It's just everybody has good meter management except for Axel, sadly. So I feel like those really aren't in his pluses. I feel like that's just a plus of everyone in the game. But yeah, definitely just want to make this short video about why I feel like he's struggling in the meta and why I think he's definitely having a hard time in the game right now. I'm probably going to make a video in the future, if not tomorrow or the day after, about what I'm hoping to see patched for him in the winter update. Probably going to make that video before Sin's released, because we are planning on playing a lot of Sin when he drops. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. I hope this video finds you well. And yeah, keep on striving out there, guys. See ya.